Begin with this. There is emotional reaction this morning after the acquittal of George Zimmerman. A jury found him not guilty Saturday night in the shooting death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. In Los Angeles Sunday, large crowds marched into the streets well into the night, demanding justice for Martin. Interstate 10 was forced to shut down.
In Philadelphia, about 700 people marched to Independence Hall to protest the justice system. And across Atlanta, there were a number of demonstrations over the verdict. We begin our coverage with Don Dahler. He's in New York Times Square, where hundreds of protesters gathered last night. Don, good morning.
Good morning, Nora, and good morning, Charlie. Yes, this was one of the biggest protests in the whole nation. It began in downtown Manhattan before passing through Times Square, where I am right now. It moved up north all the way to Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. That's a distance of over 9 miles. Now, despite the size of the crowd and the emotions involved, the New York Police Department says it was peaceful. Protesters started gathering Sunday afternoon, a day after the acquittal of George Zimmerman.
The justice system isn't looking out for us. This verdict has set us back in this country, and that's why we're all out here today.
Soon, hundreds of people were marching north to Times Square, taking over city streets and bringing traffic to a standstill. Many believe it was a clear case of racial profiling that led to Trayvon Martin's death, and say the justice system failed.
If the roles were reversed, that man wouldn't have got off.
As protesters took to the street, politicians took to the airwaves.
The fact is that we have the best judicial system in the world, and we respect it.
If the rule is that you've got to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, there were plenty of reasonable doubts there.
It was a devastating verdict.
I worry about all those young black kids out there that see a system of justice that maybe doesn't respond to them.
This is just the latest in the ongoing national debate over the circumstances in Trayvon Martin's death. Protest organizers say they're planning more action in the coming weeks. The NYPD says that there were only minor arrests, but the protesters say this is far from over. In fact, there's another rally scheduled for this evening in the Bronx.